we are pleased to be here with one probably of the brightest mind of Ukraine, really, because he did something that we didn't expect was going to be this good. So here is Michael Chobanian.
That's right.
Because I'm always worried to not pronounce it properly. And Michael, do you want to tell us a bit about yourself, maybe which kind of studies you've done before starting this business?
Sure. So I'm in crypto since 2014, March 2014. So it'll be the birthday will be soon. But I know about Bitcoin since 2011. But to be honest, I didn't really believe into Bitcoin in 2011. I only believed it in 2012. And but at that time I was still looking at it as something like potentially good, but I wasn't looking at it as a business. As a business, it started in 2014 when I opened the OTC exchanger. My background is in economics in London, City University. I have executive MBA degree from London Business School, Hong Kong University, and Columbia University.
Impressive.
And I live in Ukraine, and my target market is everything, all the countries of ex-USSR empire, let's go that way.
Okay, so we are now in the blockchain hub. Would you tell us what it is and how do you came up with the idea?
Okay, so it's not a new idea. It's evolution of idea of Bitcoin Embassy. Back in 2014, there was the thing that's called Bitcoin Embassy. It was a physical place where people could gather, get information about the Bitcoin, do trades, usually globally. So back in 2014, I opened the fourth Bitcoin Embassy in the world. There was one in Israel, in Tel Aviv. There was one in Poland, in capital, Warsaw. There was one in Canada. I can't remember. It was Montreal, I guess. And the fourth one was in Kyiv.
Nice.
That was summer of 2014.
Big achievement.
Yeah, at that time, no one understood what the hell is a Bitcoin, and then there is a Bitcoin Embassy. What kind of visas do you give? What kind of passport? Is there the country called Bitcoin? So no one had a clue what Bitcoin is. That was a small, really small physical space. It was roughly less than 20 square meters. It was 15 square meters. So it was enough room for
small
basically
office.
2 people to work in. There was a sofa and 2 chairs. That's it. That was the whole embassy. We had the merchandise. We had the sample of the miners. We had the first Bitcoin ATM in the Eastern Europe there. We still have it as a museum trophy. And that was the place where communities started to gather physically. But because it was a small space, not that many people could fit in, especially during the winters, because winters here are quite cold. Since then, yeah, I decided that we need to evolve. And I was looking for the biggest space for about a year or so. No, more than a year, yeah. I couldn't find any decent places because either they were like too big and too expensive, or they were somewhere on the outskirts. And eventually last year we found the perfect space, which is here in downtown of Kyiv. It's a historical place because all the trade was happening here in the Middle Ages. Yeah, so all the trade was here. And so the energy here is good, and that's why we opened the blockchain hub here, and now we have 700 square meters. And again, it's I still consider it alpha stage, because I have plans to build 15,000 square meters.
Oh,
like multi-story. Understand
that
what I need
sounds
to
amazing.
build. Yeah, and the cities I'm planning to open the hub. So this is like the MVP of the hub. So the next one would be big one in Kyiv, Moscow. I'm looking at the Minsk, Belarus, and I'm looking at the Almaty in Kazakhstan. So these are this would be the 4 hubs which I'm planning to open up. Why we need the hub? Again, it's the physical place where Bitcoin believers, Ether believers, blockchain believers, wherever crypto believers can gather. We have a conference room where we hold regular meetups. We have hackathons. It's the place where people work as a co-working space, or we have closed offices for the companies who want to work 24/7. We have the small lounge zone and so on and so on. So it's a physical space for a community. It's the place where ideas generate. That's the space where you can find investors, since the ICO is dead. It's a space where you can look for developers. It's a space where you can present your MVP and get the feedback from the community on your projects, and so on and so on. So, and it's also the office of my exchange, Kuna.
And we can say, like, for sure that it looks freaking awesome.
Thank you. Again, it's MVP.
Do you have a coin, a special coin that is in your first interest in this moment of the market?
You mean crypto or token?
In crypto, like not ICOs, like.
I'm a Bitcoin guy.
Bitcoin guy.
Yeah, I'm 100% Bitcoin guy. Yeah.
No altcoins.
Altcoins. Well, a bit of either, and the rest is like, the peanuts. But again, my focus is banking, financial sector, central banks. So everything to do with the traditional money, payment systems, PSPs, all that sort. And the only crypto which is more or less fits into this area of my interest and expertise is only Bitcoin, because it has the largest market cap. It is good payment system. It's widely accepted, and so on and so on. Ether a bit, but not as much. So that's why I'm a Bitcoin guy.
So you are more interested, let's say, in the mass adoption.
That's right.
In general, how is doing this business in Ukraine, like specifically the exchange business?
Would you compare it with?
Maybe compared to other financial, like, let's say, more classic standard businesses such as banks or just financial credit institutes. Or
you want to compare the crypto business in Ukraine to banking business in Ukraine, or you're comparing crypto business in Ukraine to crypto business in other countries?
No. Here in Ukraine,
oh,
just
okay.
Here in Ukraine.
The few insights. In terms of banking system, we are in the bottom of the ranks. If you look at the World Bank statistics, you'll find Ukraine in the bottom. We have really bad banking system. In terms of national currency, we used to be like #1 in anti-ratings, because but now we have Venezuela, we have North Korea who are helping us out, so we're not as bad now. What else? We have really corrupt government. Probably we are in top 5 in the world in terms of corruption.
We still had a good run with Berlusconi.
Yeah.
So it's a good fight.
That's only one guy, yeah, and we have the whole country. So the government is really inefficient. In terms of what is it called in English? How people trust the government and political rankings. Yeah. So for example, the president has only about 4% approval. National bank has about 5%. So basically, if you look at all the government agencies, like the court, for example, it has approval less than 2% of the population, and so on and so on. So everything is below the 5%. And now, if you combine it all together, I think it's just a fantastic place for crypto, because crypto is anti-government in terms of crypto doesn't require any intermediary, to do whatever. Crypto is about trust, not into the people, but into the mathematics and rule of universe, I'll call it. Crypto doesn't belong to anyone. It's not owned by anyone specific, but it's also, it's widely spread. Crypto, for crypto there is no place as Ukraine, because it's universal thing. So I think it's ideal place to develop crypto projects, because if you look at US, I don't see that crypto would be such a big thing there apart from speculation point of view. Here we actually solve the problems with the crypto. For example, you can't just easily send money to China to bring goods here, because you have to collect 5 tons of papers, physical papers from all sorts of government agencies, then bring them to the national bank, get the paper.
Not to mention the fees.
Yeah, not to mention the fees, but I mean, physically it's really hard to send money abroad. With the crypto, you don't have to ask anyone. I mean, if you need to send $1 million to China, you just send it with crypto, no problem. And in terms of exchanging the fiat to crypto in Ukraine, it's very easy. I mean, you can exchange cash, you can exchange money on your card, you can exchange it even if you have some foreign accounts, so it's really easy to change. And that's why crypto is gaining adoption here, not as a just speculative thing or asset. It gains here as the payment system, which actually solves problems every day. I mean, we have probably few $1 million, if not tens million dollars worth of crypto going to China every single day to pay for the goods and services. Obviously, it's not big companies; it's private entrepreneurs usually. So yeah, crypto is big.
It's becoming like a really common thing daily,
especially through in the import-export sphere in smaller companies, not the enterprises. Obviously, enterprises can use crypto, but private entrepreneurs, it's a way to go.
It's just a way to fix any problem with the bureaucracy and
that's right, because there is no bureaucracy. There is no bureaucracy.
There is no bureaucracy.
So instead of spending a week to send money to China, you spend 30 minutes.
Top.
Yeah, fantastic.
Now with the latest upgrade to the Bitcoin network, well, it's been a while already, because in crypto years it's been like 10 years already. Yeah. But it is amazing what you can do now.
True.
So we covered a bit your early years and this Bitcoin adoption in your life. Do you have anything, maybe any funny story, or do you want just to tell us how Kuna was born? So like maybe not a step by step, because I understand that probably is a long story.
It's not a long story. So Kuna was born during the revolution called Maidan here. The reason it was born, well, it's not during, but right after, first few days. The reason for that was, me personally, I had the fear that government agencies will come to me immediately after I'll launch the exchanger. The reason for that was that the previous government was really tight on anything new happening in the fintech, and literally they were sending to prison people who were in electronic money. They were closing their bank accounts.
Yanukovych president.
So like big companies like WebMoney had problems with that government. So, and me, there was only one guy who you wanted to do crypto. So I had the slight fear. And then the revolution came, and the Yanukovych fled with all his team. So the market was open. There was no one to fear anymore. So on March 11th, I launched the Kuna. That was only website, HTML, plain, no CMS, nothing. It was just plain HTML website, which stated you can buy Bitcoin here. This is the formula on calculating the price, and here's my contact. I personally did the logo. I did the coding of the website. I was the guy on the phone. I was personally meeting with the people.
Good old
days. So it was a traditional, classic startup. It was just me. So that's how it started. And then I added automation to it, so you can buy automatically online without the need for my personal verification or anything like that. And then it just started to build up. And then in December 2015, No, in November, I had a police raid in my apartment, and they were looking for bitcoins. That was November 2015.
So it
And
was about 1 year after, like one and a half year after the revolution ish.
yes, year and a half, yeah. And so they were looking for bitcoins, and they were looking for documents which could prove that I do Bitcoin business. Although I was the first guy who publicly said Bitcoin, I was, synonym of Bitcoin. So if you put my name into Google at that time, it would automatically bring everything about Bitcoin. Or if you Google Bitcoin in Google.com UA, so Ukrainian Google, if you Google Bitcoin, it would automatically give my name and my photos and everything. So it was pretty obvious that I do Bitcoin. But anyway, they were looking for Bitcoins. Thank God they, didn't try to look at the carpets or anything like that. So no damage was done to the apartment. But yeah, I had the everything. All the electronics was taken away. All the phones. They even took the CDs, music CDs, for some reason. I don't know why, but anyway. And
because there is a lot of ignorance. In at least in Italy, I think we can share it with Ukraine around the law enforcement regarding what it is really like when you come for maybe they charge you with something like tax evasion or whatever, and then when you have to explain them how you make that money, they just don't understand. Like there is a lot of ignorance.
Now they understand, but back in 2015, trust me, there was only a few people in the government understood what Bitcoin is, and the police wasn't the place where they understood. Anyway, I took this conflict public on the Facebook, and it immediately got something like thousands of reposts, likes, whatever. And I became very popular. So I was popular through the Bitcoin small community, but then I went big step up, and I was popular.
It's a really strong community, isn't it?
It is a strong community, yeah. And I understood that this is, considering that the popularity of my name and the website and everything, it was the good time to do the crowd sale, because at that time there was no ICO. There was the word crowd sale. So in December 2015, we did the crowd sale. We got the Bitcoins and used the Bitcoins to launch the Kuna exchange, which successfully operates right now.
That's amazing.
And again, that was the first crowd sale in Eastern Europe. Pretty much everything in Ukraine which happened first was, related with me.
At least I noticed, because I'm actually a user of Kuna myself. So I noticed the amazing email with the amazing news of this amazing restyling, let's call it. And you're upgrading also the network in Kuna, if I got it right. Do you want to talk about that and say what's
Sure.
what's new?
So since 2015 up to November of last year, 2018, we've been the local exchange. So purely Ukrainian exchange. We only had Ukrainian hryvnia as the fiat pair, and we had Bitcoin and all the altcoins. In November, we did the rebranding. So we have now a new logo, and with this new logo, we are going multinational. Again, we are going to East. So we're going to Belarus, we're going to Russia, we're going to Kazakhstan, we're going to Georgia, we're going to Armenia, and we're going to Turkey. And the reason why we need to do the rebranding, because the old logo was very symbolant with the Ukrainian symbol. So we need to get rid of Ukraine and become multinational. So we did that in November or December when we present in December.
What about the upgrade on the network? I heard about some discounted fee, or the fee will be lower.
Oh, this is users were asking for a few months now, the introduction of SegWit. So SegWit is launching on the 20th, and since the commission is much lower, we're just bringing that savings onto the users. So the commission to withdraw Bitcoin from the exchange would be lowered.
I was interested about because I didn't quite understand it myself. Then I did some research and I quite understand a bit. Maybe there are some users that are from Ukraine and they are going to see this video because it's going to be subtitled in Russian and Ukrainian. What was that about during this update about the addresses for deposits?
Oh, so yeah, again, that's the SegWit thing. So regular Bitcoin addresses start with a 1. And then if you were using multi-sig, in that case, the address would start with a 3. With the SegWit, all the addresses start with a 3. So because we're migrating from the standard Bitcoin to SegWit Bitcoin addresses, so we had to change the addresses for all the users, and now they have to press the button regenerate. And instead of address starting with the 1, they will get the address starting with the 3. So we're going to keep the old addresses for a while, but we are incentivizing people to switch to SegWit because it's cheaper for them to withdraw. Simple reason. Yeah.
And that affects also Zetacash?
Yeah, all the Bitcoin-based forks, yeah. So we're upgrading everything, yeah. Litecoin as well, and yeah.
Can you share with us maybe a bit of your statistics, users? Maybe if you are aware of also the geostatistic of your users, so where they are located and everything.
So right now we have more than 75,000 registered users. That's in total. In terms of trade volume, everything what you see on CoinMarketCap is the valid number. So now it ranges from 200 to 400, somewhere in the middle, roughly 300,000 per day. That's the real numbers. We don't, do this thing. So yeah, if you look at the major exchanges, I mean, it's quite obvious that they are bringing the numbers up. My competitors, some of them do the same thing, some of them don't. That's their choice. I don't know why they're doing it. Probably they're thinking that the higher the volume you have, the more clients will come. But again, but when you come to exchange and you see that the everything is empty, you can't even buy like 2 Bitcoins, but they have, but they show the turnover of millions. I know it's quite obvious. I mean, you won't return. So we don't do that. I noticed
it because when I was using another exchange that I don't want to mention, it was rather difficult to do some transaction. And when I came to Kuna the first time, well, first of all, it is amazingly easy to create an account and to start using the account. What I noticed straight away, it was that it is actually what you see. So when you see the statistics and you see that there are this Bitcoin available for selling, and it's not a botnet.
Yeah. So again, I mean, some exchanges do it, we don't do it. In terms of so what I show on CoinMarketCap is real, and you can check it. So if we do 300,000, you can actually look at it and you can prove it. In terms of numbers, so 300,000 is what we do online. And then if you look at the whole Ukrainian market in terms of cash, guess how much is the daily trade of Bitcoin in cash in Ukraine? Your guess.
I wouldn't.
And again, this is the cash country. Oh, I forgot to mention that we are cash country. So if you and we are US dollar cash country. So for example, I have a phone, yeah, regular phone, Samsung or iPhone. So if you ask anyone on the street how much is the new iPhone, they'll answer you in the price in US dollars. If you ask what's the price of this car, they'll answer you in US dollars. If you ask for what's the price of a house, they'll answer in US dollars. But if you ask what's the price of a cup of coffee, they'll answer you in hryvnias. And from my experience, the that point when people think in local currency ends about $300 equivalent. So anything about $300 to $500 in equivalent. Above it is in US dollars, below it is local currency. So I have no clue how much to cost the iPhone. in hryvnias. I have no clue. The price of a car, it will be astronomical number of millions, but no one thinks in hryvnias in terms of big sums. Everyone thinks in US dollars. So in terms of volume of Bitcoin traded in cash, this is suitcases full of cash, $100 bills, daily. What I know, and again, I'm not new to this market, and I know, I have a few assets in the exchange. I see that daily volume in cash is from 10 to 20 million US dollars in Ukraine.
Get out of here.
That's true. And the total in online, if you combine, for example, me and two other exchanges who have hryvnia pairs, and you take local exchanges, the maximum probably would be 1.5 million, 2 million. Real numbers, if you're talking about the real numbers. That would be the maximum peak, but realistically, online is traded no more than 1 million, and offline is traded probably 10 million. And again, impressive. The reason why? Because the banking system doesn't allow you to trade, to send money. So I can't just easily send you $1 million. It's impossible.
They don't realize that they are losing like this.
They don't realize a lot of stuff in this country. But again, this is opportunity for me. The banking system doesn't work here. It doesn't work like in your country, because for you, it's not a problem to send, I don't know, someone in your country 100,000 euros, million euros. If you have it in your bank account, you can send it to anyone. It's not a problem. Here, no. Anything above the 5,000 euros is a problem. So anything below, you can manage okay. Anything above, you'll be, a lot of questions will be asked, or it will be physically impossible to do. And we're talking about inside the country, not even outside of the country. Sending money outside of the country, just forget about it. So, for example, we have the servers on the like Amazon, Google, DigitalOcean. Yeah? I can't use my card, Ukrainian bank account card, to pay for them, because the sum is more than what National Bank allows me to send without the papers proving that blah 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 blah.
It's madness.
It's madness again. So that's why we don't use the banking system that much as you do in Europe, and that's why Bitcoin has much more potential in countries like mine.
Of course,
because we don't have banking system. There is nothing to worry in Italy. There is nothing to worry in EU. There is nothing to worry in US, because you have working bank system. In our countries, they don't work. Same thing in Argentina. Russia, they have more or less working banking system, and they think in ruble. They don't think in US dollars. They only think in US dollars when the amount is more than like millions dollars. Then they think in US dollars. But anything below, so cars, houses, is all in rubles. Their banking system works slightly better, but still bad. That's why Russia is big on crypto. India would be big on crypto because the National Bank of India forces people to use online, which doesn't really work. They remove the large nodes from
all of them destroying themselves.
Again, and they create opportunity for crypto.
That's
why Ukraine is crypto capital of Europe. That's why I believe so. I mean, I don't think that in Milan, there is a lot of Bitcoin scam in Milan, but if you take it away, I mean, it won't be that big. So they won't be transacted that big. But again, online, you can send a lot of money in Europe, no problem.
Where the money flows come from, and how do you manage it?
What do you mean by that?
I think they mean, because that's a question that
from community.
From the community.
Okay.
I think they mean that there has to be some kind of backup in fiat currency. Like, so a lot of people are wondering if I'm selling one Bitcoin, and right now it's 3,000, let's say, and I bought it from you for 3,000, and I'm selling it for 6,000. Where is the exchange going to make the money? Are they, because they have the old conception of the bank?
Oh, I got it. Okay, so it works like this. So imagine very simple exchange, day one. When we started, we only had one pair. It was Bitcoin to hryvnia. So this is your Bitcoin wallet, or exchange's Bitcoin wallet. And this is the exchange's hryvnia wallet. Let's not go into details how we hold hryvnias, Bitcoin is very simple. Yeah, so you install the Bitcoin D or similar nodes, and here you go. Then you create addresses for people to deposit Bitcoins. And anyway, it goes into one cup. Same with the Grivna, it all collects in one cup. And then when people exchange between each other, all they do is they don't actually physically exchange. It's all just numbers on the on our system. So we know that you sold Bitcoin for X amount to person number wherever or name that, and basically you just exchange with the not the physical Grivna or Bitcoin. You exchange with the liability, so IOUs, and then when you withdraw, you send the signal to my database. So give me this Grivna, which I exchange for Bitcoin, and it goes to your bank account. So exchange doesn't create or money, it doesn't do anything. So it just holds one position, it holds second position, and all it does, it just manages it. That's it.
That's a good answer, because sometimes we are so stuck with well, actually, maybe me and especially you know, but a lot of people are so stuck with this conception of the bank that has to have the money. And,
No.
Yeah.
Well, again, our difference of the exchange from the bank is another thing. We always have more than 100% of reserves, unlike banks, because there is such a thing as called fractional reserve banking. Roughly, it depends on the country. At one moment, bank has only 10% of what it owes to the people. With the exchange, we have more than 100%, because we know that at any time, people can come and take their money back, and we should give them back. And again, our model is not based on the giving credit and taking deposits. That's why we always have more than 100%. And any exchange should have it.
Situations.
And again, one thing I read today, that right now, when this interview will go online, roughly,
I think
week
2-3 weeks from now.
Excellent. Anyway, so today I read the news that yellow vests in Paris, the protesters in Paris who've been going on for months now. Now they have a new cool feature. So government is pushing with them really hard. They're beating them up and so on. Yeah. So I'm not judging the government or the yellow vest, because both of them, it's not white and black. It's always gray. But again, one cool thing they decided to do, because they can't do physical protest anymore that openly, because government is always expecting them to gather on the Champs-Élysées and so they're waiting for them. So they decided to do the other thing, how they can control and manipulate the government. On this coming up Saturday, they proposed that all protesters go to the bank and withdraw all the money.
No way.
And because I just told you that banks only have 10% of wherever they owe, that would be a huge thing on the banking system.
Yeah, of course.
And because the bank can't give you the money, all the other people who are not even involved into yellow vest, they'll feel the consequences, because they won't be able to get their money back.
Stabilize everything.
Yeah. So what the yellow vest decided to do, so basically, okay, government, on the Saturday, if you don't do whatever we want, we're gonna go and take our money back, which is not illegal. Again, so they're gonna do the bank run, and I think it's just fantastic. I mean, it's really good idea, of peaceful revolution thing on how you can answer.
It is indeed.
And the logic here, I'm sorry, I'll finish. Yeah, the logic that they propose is that banking system is the core of the government stability, and if the banking system fails, the government fails.
Of course.
That's their logic, and I think it's really true. And
yeah, it is amazing, especially after we accepted money without the gold coverage. So without that, of course, we are just printing paper. Of course, you create inflation and all the things we know. Have you seen a drop or an increase of number of users during this year that has been crazy? It's now 1 year, more or less.
More than 1 year since the hype.
So did you see any increase, any drop, or the attention more or less because people are into cryptocurrencies? It's growing steady.
If you look at the growth of our database, user base, sorry, user base, yeah. So the peak is not in December when the price was peak. The peak is in March. So 3 months shift. The reason for that probably because we had a peak of $20,000 in December, and then it was gradually going down, and then it was like going like crazy. And in March, probably people thought that this is the time to buy crypto because it dropped, and probably it's gonna go up and go in the moon, wherever. Yeah. So yeah, with the peak in the March, and then since then, obviously, it's going down. I analyzed my all the statistics. So we see the drop of 3 times from the peak of, for example, trading. So from December of last year till now, we dropped 3 times. If you look at the other exchanges, to my pleasure, they dropped more than 10 times. In terms of users online at any time, any given time, we dropped 2 times. In terms of revenues, we dropped 2 times. So if it's not good, but if you look at what happened to the market, I'm pretty much pleased what's happening.
That's good.
And the user base is still growing, but obviously not at the same.
Not as fast.
Yes, not as fast. Yeah, it's still growing. Yeah, it hasn't stopped.
Because in any case, people are still getting in touch for the first time with crypto. So.
But what I noticed from the new users, I analyze pretty much everything what's happening on the exchange. What I see from the new users, most of them are not coming into because of a speculation. Most of them are coming of like your use cases. They're coming to exchange and send to Grivna, or they have Grivna and need to pay for something somewhere else, because we see where the Bitcoin is going. We use the special systems like chain analysis, Crystal. There is a few others. So we can analyze where the money is going. We know where it's coming from. We know where it's going. And I see that now most of the new users coming not to trade and speculate. They come here to buy and pay for the goods and services. That's the main selling point right now.
Kind of a sign of
payment system
mass adoption.
Yeah, more or less. So nice. That's very good, because if I analyze what happened to the people who came in March, most of them don't do anything because they bought Bitcoin at $17,000, $11,000, so they're just holders. Nothing is happening to them, and but the new ones are coming and they're trading, they're buying, they're selling, they're using the internal features like Kuna Code and so on and so on. So that's developing, and these users are really valuable to any exchange, because unlike speculation, speculative mind of people, they just come when the anything goes up or goes down. When nothing is happening, they're just idle, they don't do anything, and they're useless to you. And these people who do use it every day, doesn't matter what the price is, they're really valuable. So
crypto believers.
Yeah, and they actually use crypto as the Satoshi Nakamoto intended to be used. So I'm really glad.
Yeah, it's ethical. From an ethical point of view, it's really nice. You mentioned Kuna Code.
Yep.
It's something that it's a bit unusual. So if you want to explore a bit better, it was not in the questions, but it's something really interesting.
So what's a Kuna Code? Probably majority of the watchers would be not from Ukraine or Russia, I guess. Yeah, Europe, considering the language. So for you guys,
but we see maybe it gets viral here in Ukraine as well.
So for you guys, the Kuna Code, it's not something that we developed or created. It's the evolution of an idea of the BTC code. There was the exchange back in a few years ago, BTC.com. That was the largest by far Bitcoin exchange in the predominantly Eastern Europe. The reason for that was because there was no verification required, and a lot of people, just could jump in and use it immediately. It was very simple interface. very simple. So it was a few buttons without any like stop loss limits, margin trading, none of the bullshit. So only, you know, plain forward Bitcoin. Yeah, buy, sell, that's it. So Kuna Code, what's the Kuna Code? It's the way of transferring any balance on the exchange to another user on the exchange. So
without
for example,
passing from the blockchain.
Without the blockchain, without anything. For example, the most popular Kuna Code is obviously fiat based. So for example, you need to get you sold the Bitcoin for Grivna, for ruble, for US dollars on the exchange, and you need to get that money out. So for example, you have the Grivna code, the Grivna on your account. So one solution is to send it to your bank account. But there is a limit on how much you can send. Again, because our banking system is not efficient, they put limits on how much you can send per month, per day, wherever. For example, you need to send more than 150,000 grivners on any account, any card. Right now, 150,000 grivners is about $6,000, $5,000, something like that. So if you need to send more than that, you're in trouble. With the Kuna Code, you generate Kuna Code. It's basically numbers and letters ending with the Kuna Code. You take that code and you go to the offline exchanger. You give them this code, and they give you the cash, for example, or they send you money to a bank account, or send you money to your Italian bank account, or wherever. So basically, it's the mean of exchanging balances on the exchange without going through the banking system.
What do you mean by because some people will be confused, I know already. What do you mean by offline exchanger?
We have offline exchangers, so you can go on the street. There is like currency exchange. You see them in Europe as well, and so there will be airports wherever, airport anywhere, and they'll have the Bitcoin price as well. So you can go there, you can buy Bitcoin, you can sell Bitcoin. One of the problems dealing with exchanging the Bitcoin on the premises is, one, you'll have to wait 3 confirmations, obviously, because no one is going to accept your Bitcoin and give you cash immediately with 0 confirmation, unless they're silly. That's one. Second, for you, when you come to the offline exchange, maybe it's not a really good time. For example, like 5 minutes ago, they either was $150,000, now it's $130,000. Dollars, sorry, not thousands. And obviously, you were expecting to sell at 150. Now you have $20 less on one either. So for you, it would be, again, it was opportunity cost. So you would be waiting there, waiting for the exchange rate to go up and then sell at that time. So it's not inconvenient. What you do with the Kuna Code, you deposit your crypto on the exchange, sell it at the convenient time, convenient price, wherever, and you have the balance in fiat. And then you just take this balance in fiat, which you already know, so for 100,000 or a million, you go to the physical exchanger, you give them the balance. They take their whatever 0.5, 1% commission and give you the rest in cash or wherever how you agreed to do it.
This is, for us, it's mind blowing.
Again, probably, well, not probably, it will be illegal in your country, but again, my country is different from EU.
Of course.
Here, it's not illegal.
Of course.
That's nice. Why we do it, because in all the exchanges, like all the top exchanges, they have strict AML KYC policy, so you can't just exchange balances on the Bitstamp or Binance or Bitfinex, any of these big exchanges. They can't do it because of AML KYC. Here in Ukraine, we can still do it. And that's why I don't accept citizens of US on my exchange. I try not to work with the citizens of EU. I try not to, but again. And obviously, so US is definitely no.
So I should be banned from...
No, EU is okay, because for you, the rules are slightly different. There's, the hand of law of Italy is not as strict as US. That's why, it's okay. We don't work with the sanctioned countries like Iran, Sudan, USA, because of their SEC and, foreign policies and so on and so on.
They're making a mess, aren't they?
Yeah, but again, I mean, there are other exchanges who work with the US citizens. I don't. So I do with all the ex-USSR countries.
It is a bit, for me, the same. I noticed when I moved to London, like really briefly, when I moved to London, that I like to work with them because they're pretty straightforward, and there is a lot of respect between customer and the freelancer, for instance. So now it's really difficult for me to work and do videos for Italians because you have to chase them for the payments. So you have to they know better than you what the price should be. So yeah, I get what you mean. Like it's very hard.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm a foreigner, if I'm not in Ukraine and I don't have a Ukrainian bank account, the only way to use Kuna is basically trading cryptos because I can't have the fiat currency.
So again, if you're a foreigner and you're not coming from US, Iran, North Korea, Sudan, and a few other sunshine countries, if you're not a citizen of those countries, then you're okay. The only way right now to deposit or withdraw fiat is obviously Ukrainian hryvnia, and we just added advanced cash, so you can have advanced cash ruble or USD. But we are working on a solution to accept euro payments from Visa Master. That will be available to all citizens of EU, but unfortunately, because of the EU regulation, again, we're going to have to go through AML KYC procedure if you're using that method. So if you want to deposit euros and you're a foreigner, well, from Ukrainian point of view, if you're a citizen of EU, then you'll have to go through registration, verification, and then you can deposit using your bank account, bank card, sorry, or if you're withdrawing, similar process.
So it's going to be more or less like an option that you have to unlock.
That's right. We're working on that solution with our European partners. Yes.
That's good to know because there are a lot of people actually in Italy, and in Germany, and like a lot of I have a lot of friends in Europe that they're like, really, it's so easy, it's so nice. Even the interface of Kuna, like it's so clean, it's so amazing, and they're like, but I can't do it. It's still cool, like for crypto, but it's nice to hear that there's going to be this implementation. This is like a tough one, but I see that you're not afraid to answer me. Why should I choose Kuna instead of another exchange?
Good question. So obviously, as a customer, you will be when choosing the exchange, you'll be looking at the benefits. So how we're different from all the other exchanges? First of all, we are regional, we're not global. From one point of view, that's the disadvantage. From other point of view, it's a benefit. So disadvantage, you can't deposit using SWIFT or SEPA to our exchange. But again, you can withdraw local currencies. In this year, we'll launch Russia, Belarus, Georgia, and Armenia. So you have crypto and you need to withdraw local currencies of the countries I just mentioned. You'll be able to do it without any AML KYC, so no verification required. That's one. Ease of use. So we are not going for the advanced features like margin trading. What else? Or basically all the New York Stock Exchange features. We're not going for them. We target ease of use, and the main idea of our exchange is to actually deliver Bitcoin or deliver fiat without any complications. So if you need to buy 100 Bitcoins, you'll be able to buy them with 2 clicks. That's what we're going for. So we try to keep everything very simple. So even your mother or my mother or grandfather, they'll be able to understand very quickly what to press to get the Bitcoins or the reverse. Thirdly, we have the local fiat of the countries which no other exchanges work with. So I don't think that Binance will ever open a bank account in Armenia. I don't think so. Bitfinex, no way.
That's not likely.
So they focus on euro and they focus on US dollars. We focus on local currencies. And when we'll add the ability to deposit using the European Visa or MasterCard, Eurocard, the other option will unlock. You'll be able to deposit euros and withdraw hryvnias, or deposit euros and withdraw rubles.
Amazing.
And that would be that we will be able to do that without going through one banking system. You can break that payment.
On a related, not really, but let's say on a related subject, are you ever going to open your own card?
My own card?
Like a debit card.
You mean like Kuna Code?
Yeah, like Wirex, or...
We have plans. I have plans on that. I even have the mock-up of the card. The problem is, again, we don't have a base fiat currency. So Bitfinex has US dollar as the base currency. Right now, Kuna has Hryvnia, but that will be that's the right now. In a few months' time, we'll have ruble, we'll have Belarusian ruble, we'll have Armenian dram, we'll have Georgian lari, we'll have Turkish lira. So all of these currencies will be base currencies. So hence, we'll have to find a solution how to create a card which would be able to hold balances in these currencies without double conversion to US dollar or euro. So that's not the simple solution, but one of the solutions is to create cards for every single currency independently. So if you want Hryvnia and ruble, you have to get two cards.
Or unfortunately, MasterCard, maybe. Well, not MasterCard, the brand. Like a card that is a master and it.
You mean the one card which holds a lot of virtual cards? Yeah, that's one of the solutions. Yes, again.
I saw something really good happening, for instance, on Revolut. But then again, they do one thing amazing and pretty wrong, because they introduce the cryptocurrencies, but
you can't withdraw them. That's a speculative thing. Yeah,
it's like, for what I know, I never bought those bitcoins, and tomorrow your company goes bankrupt and there is no ID transaction of like it's crazy to me. Like, so it's better to take your time. Like,
it's well, again, that was a clever marketing move for them, for people who don't really understand what Bitcoin is. They don't really care about holding the private keys. But for the speculation, it was okay. So good for them.
Your top 5 coins.
Starting from number 1, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Waves, EOS.
No Zcash. You don't like Zcash?
I can't say I don't like it, or it's like I don't have any thoughts on it.
But it's really like a lot of people likes it because of the privacy solution kind of thing.
I don't have any problem with the privacy, so
I see.
Again, I was looking at from the point of view first, whether it's the good solution for payment system. One, that's why I have Bitcoin and Ether, because they have a lot of volume.
Don't you see a problem on Bitcoin? Like there is the classic example that they do. I pay your salary, and I can, and when I go to buy a coffee, when you go to buy a coffee, the coffee place, they know how much I get as a salary.
Yes, but there are solutions how you can forgo these problems. I don't see there that much problem.
Okay.
I mean, you can do it. Use HD wallet and you're okay. It basically generates new address for every single new transaction.
They're not traceable.
Well, they're still traceable, but not traceable like, obviously, yeah. Not with one click, yeah. But the solutions like chain analysis.
That's interesting, guys. Look for it.
Again, I mean, who are you hiding from?
Oh, yeah.
If you're hiding from shop owner where you bought the coffee, then HD wallet is more than enough. If you're hiding from Ukrainian law enforcement, then probably you need to use slightly more advanced solutions like, I don't know, mixers or something like that. If you're hiding from US government, then you're in trouble. So yeah, don't use Bitcoin for that, for anything illegal or what is considered to be bad from the US government. Yeah, and don't break the law and you're okay.
How do you see crypto in 5 years? This Nostradamus.
Nostradamus, yeah. Or Vanga. 5 years. Probably we're gonna see Bitcoin 2.0. I don't know whether it will be evolution of the current Bitcoin, it will be something new. We're gonna see national cryptocurrencies issued by probably national bank or.
Ukraine started this project, no?
We did, yeah. I have my own project on this national cryptocurrency, and there is a one from national bank, and we work parallel. So yeah, national cryptocurrencies, although they won't be classical cryptocurrencies. Obviously, it will be centralized, government laws, AML, KYC, all that bullshit. What else? We're gonna see blockchain mass adoption in terms of GovTech, especially in developing countries like Ukraine or Argentina, where people don't trust the government, but they trust mathematics, because you can't break the rules of mathematics, which is good for us. So yeah, GovTech, we're gonna see a blockchain coming there. Although I see two problems with the blockchain GovTech. The first one, again, because I have experience of doing that in Ukraine. First one, you need politicians who have strong will to implement these changes.
That's probably the hardest part.
That's the hardest part again, yeah, because any politician who will study this subject, they understand that there is no way he will be able to break the laws or do corruption schemes or anything like that when the blockchain is enforced. Yeah,
like the reason I said, but
yeah,
but how can I keep stealing then?
But again, we're looking at the 5 years. A lot can happen in 5 years. So I predict that we're gonna see somewhere in the world, in some countries, that the true blockchain government will be erected. The other problem with the GovTech blockchain, because it's the client is the government, and government is not willing to spend money on any solutions, especially when you need to develop them. There is no solution out of the box available when you can take it and implement it, the government. So any government all the governments are different, all the countries are different. So if you're a developer, for example, you are a developer, I don't see any incentive for you to start developing GovTech blockchain-based system for, I don't know, land registry. Because if you create that thing, then you'll have the tough time selling it to the government. And me knowing how the government works, I don't propose you do that, because that's just a waste of money. So all the GovTech things, they work first from government giving money, and then on that money you build something. So that's the second problem with the GovTech. But anyway, sooner or later there'll be something will happen. Yeah. What else?
Well, when
we're gonna see
the common person, like you were saying, my mom, your mom, are going to use actually a card or whatever it will be to pay in Bitcoin or the national cryptocurrency, the bread, for instance.
Yeah.
When do you think it's going to happen?
Well, with national cryptocurrencies, I think that they're a good solution. I don't think Bitcoin is good to buying bread. I think Bitcoin is good on cross-border transactions. So Bitcoin is good to buy goods and services, well, goods especially in China if you're Ukrainian. Bitcoin is not good for buying cup of coffee in Ukraine. So inside the country.
For altcoins?
Not even for altcoins. I don't see any space of traditional cryptocurrencies as the payment method for something on which we use day to day. It's good as an alternative to SWIFT. It's bad as an alternative to national currency or to Visa, MasterCard payment networks. It's really bad because of a lot of things. So first, volatile exchange rate, then the transaction times, and continuing. Because again,
Can be that tomorrow.
I've tried and tested it since 2014. I had like the chain of cafes who accepted Bitcoin. I spent a lot of time sitting there looking how people are trying to pay with the crypto, and there is a lot of inconvenience which is not gonna work. Visa and Master, together with the national cryptocurrencies, right now are far better payment solution to pay for something small. But when you are sending money abroad, and when you have regulation and international regulation, national banks, and so on and so on, then Bitcoin is really good. So it's a really good alternative to Swift, but it's not a good alternative to paper money or Visa Master in your country. So national cryptocurrencies, they could here they can be competitors to local payment system.
So in general, it's a good, brighter future than the one that
That's right.
We can see right now with this bear market that is going pretty much nowhere since what, like 4 or 5 months ago.
Again, I see that the blockchain ecosystem would develop pretty much the same as we saw with the internet. So we had the bubble in the beginning of 2000s, internet bubble, then everything bursted, and then the revolution, dot-com bubble, yeah, and then the real revolution started to show up. So we had the YouTube, we had Google Pay, Apple Pay, all this, Facebook, all these services erupted after the bubble bursted. Same here will happen with the blockchain.
So we can say that maybe Kuna could be the next Google.
Why not? I don't mind.
Me neither. I'm a happy user, so.
Glad to know.